history, Brian Pillman stayed in WCW, perhaps longer than he should have. And Steve Austin was unceremoniously released from WCW a lot sooner, maybe not soon enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank God for that, though.
For his, but yeah, and they reunited briefly in the WWE. And of course, their former partnership was never mentioned at all because WCW doesn't exist in WWE land. But
I think JR or Kevin Kelly said former tag team partners one time.
One time. Yeah, they probably heard it in the ear. Don't ever say that
Don't
shit
you
again.
ever say that again. I will eat your children for breakfast. Okay, sorry, Vince.
And he put one foot in, and he'd take it back out, grab it, go nuts, and he'd go, no.
Shut up, I'm trying to stick up on him.
I'm trying to apologize. Shut up. Yes, the Dusty Rhodes, the Ernie Ladd Dusty Rhodes apology, also YouTube gold. Ernie Ladd had turned on Dusty Rhodes a week prior, and Ernie came out on the interview because Dusty was showing the clip, and Ernie came out. He put an undershirt on a stick, and he came out with a white shirt to say, "I'm sorry to Dirty Rhodes. I apologize to Dirty Rhodes for what I did." And we were like, "Bill, shut up! I'm trying to apologize." And he waved the white flag, and I'm sorry. And Dusty looked at Gordon and said, "You believe this, God? You believe this, God?" And Ernie slapped him and ran off.
I did with Marc Mero on his podcast about finding out Marc Mero was black and not black and being offended. Yeah. I remember just being a kid one day and watching Razor Ramon, and he's talking, and I'm looking, and then I look at my friend, and then I look at it, he's talking again, and my friend Justin was Spanish at the time. I remember I might have been about 9, and I was like, "Justin," and he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't think Razor Ramon is Spanish." And we're looking at the TV. He's like, "No, I don't think he is." And my brother, who's older than me, walks in the room, and my brother goes, "Scott Hall's as white as the snow, Derek." And he just walks out. And I remember thinking, oh no, like, I believe all the Scarface stuff my whole life.
The Hardees are back. And you give it away for free on TV against a couple of job guys. And they just wrestled right now as we spoke. They wrestled in a fucking 8-man. Again, why? Against the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker? For what? Matt and Jeff are back. That's not. What are you doing? I just watched it for free TV. They were the opening match. Why?
Sting, the one that Sting was in?
Yes.
Speaking of somebody should only be a pay-per-view attraction.
Exactly. But no, we'll give it away for free. We'll have a 62-year-old jumping up the top rope and going through tables.
Hey. Let's not get hasty, Craig. No, I'm just kidding. I know.
If you're going to have your oldest living superstar, icon, Hall of Famer,
do it on pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Pay for that.
Make it mean something. Namely, with Hogan on top. But Rick Martell was your number 2 babyface under Hogan there. And again, he always kept himself in phenomenal shape. You know, always looked good, always worked good, always wrestled good. And when I say he didn't get the credit he deserved, yes, he was a world champion, but his work ethic was second to none. And again, no one has one bad thing to say about him. And again, for a guy who had a long career, and that I always thought he was better he was a great heel, but I always thought he was a better face. And just because he can't be that good looking, and you know, he's made to be a big.
Why? I pull it off just fine.
You do. And also Rick Martell.
Johnny Knoxville. Oh, the big sigh. I knew that. Yeah, I know. Johnny Knoxville wrestling Sami Zayn. And I will say this. The Jackass like going back and forth was nice TV. And I know Craig is going to lose some respect for me. I thought it was okay. It was fun. I saw a lot of people saying man, this is like watching an Attitude Era hardcore match, and I think, for good or for bad, depending on what side of the coin you're on, that's a good explanation of what we just saw. Now, that's my thoughts on this. And Craig, before I give you get your thoughts, I'm going to kind of stir the pot a little bit. Socks in the chat said, and then you can tell me how you feel about this. Be prepared, Socks. Socks said, I'm not making this up. He said this. The Wee Man suplex was just as iconic, if not more, than when Hulk body slammed Andre at WrestleMania.
You mean the Wee Man body slam?
Yes, the body slam, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Craig, your thoughts on it.
I'm still trying to digest that, the fact that we had to say Wee Man and wrestling or body slam in the same sentence.
No, she forgot her underwear.
Oh, crap.
Legitimately forgot her underwear. So Joel and I are just waiting.
That drunk,
and
huh?
waiting, yeah, for her to come back. Meanwhile, the crowd is turning. They're now loving me and they're hating Missy. And I'm like, fuck, this is not how this is supposed to go. No matter what I'm saying to this crowd, they don't care. They love me now. So Missy finally comes back. It was super quick. I speared her. I ripped off her dress. But the one who loses her dress is the winner. Blah, blah, blah. Crowd still turned on her completely. And later on, Jason let me redeem myself and manage a match. And when I had come out, the crowd started chanting HIAC Killer.
Take over a forum, because they had a forum basically for anything they had listed. So I think there was the 2003 Hell in a Cell, and we took over that forum when that DVD came out. Took over the forum, and then I was like, why don't I just have, an actual forum with a web address and we had, I would say at its best, we probably had 15 very active people that were there, and we did not contests, but we did the pay-per-view prediction thing, and it was pretty active for a good, 3 or 4 years. Probably till the end, like 08-ish. It was very, very active. And then I dropped off the face of the earth. Omega got tired of it. It sounds familiar somehow.
I was going to say, it sounds like we've been here before.
Are we noticing a pattern here?
Are we noticing the pattern?
Listen, at least
Indeed.
we stayed descript. Like wrestling itself, it goes in cycles. Because Derek, Craig threw a question at me about the draft pick thing, which molded into it and evolved into me saying, need to throw the book at Barry or Boudreaux right as you came in. Hey, you got the Mets. At least you got the Mets.
Yeah, yes.
There you go.
Well, also I'm a Mets fan, and it's May, so we could be out of it by July.
That's true.
So I'm trying to hold it back a little bit.
That's true.
You're not trying to hold it back a little bit. Anytime the Mets beat the Phillies this week,
Here we go.
I beat the New York and won another series, and that.
But I'm sorry we played you guys like 20 times to start the season. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You're winning. You should be happy, and you're a Mets fan. So this comes every once in a while. Say writers, Dan. That's who we have to thank. Wrestling has never had writers before, but now we have them to thank. So if that makes her evil for what she's done to professional wrestling, that's fine. But let's also understand she's not a heel. She's someone who, if she hadn't been the boss's daughter, would never have had that job in the first place. What were they?
Yes. All right. I have 5.
Good.
The first one is a Ric Flair heel turn. One you don't really hear much about, but it stuck out in my head as a kid.
Mhm.
I believe it was when Brian Pillman was slowly becoming a horseman.
I swear to God, if it's the same one, Derek.
And
I think I know where he's going with this, man.
Yes, it's Flair and Sting versus
God.
Arn versus Arn.
There's always a plan B. Did I think that was going to happen?
Yeah,
See it coming. So that's my number 5 because that was the last time I got shocked by a heel turn.
if I'm not mistaken, there's a woman who like screams "No" as Seth is swinging the chair. It was great.
Yeah, that might have been me, Derek. That I
Like a woman.
yeah, the woman. They were my favorite faction since the Freebird.
Go on TV and be unprofessional, and all of a sudden they should fire them. They're entitled, blah 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 blah. But you same people applaud CM Punk, who did the same thing many years ago and made that guy your cult hero. So I wonder what's the difference between Naomi and Sasha and CM Punk and Charlotte and Becky.
Skin Cutler. When you don't know if it's a work or not, and you have to find out when it happens. I know, novel idea. It's the same thing all over, and it's been for years, and it gets worse the longer that social media exists, where everybody has to know, where everybody thinks they are in the know, or part of this. You're not. You're a fan. It's what goes back to what Xavier Woods said years ago when you all called him the N-word and got mad about it because, God forbid, an adult male told you to calm the fuck down about things. You're not part of the show. You're part of the fandom. Enjoy the story.